Hello everyone, George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape, and today I want to talk to you about the 6 biggest mistakes that I see lawn care companies making today. First and foremost, I see people making mistakes with their advertising. The old ways of advertising don't work anymore. I'm not going to say 100% don't work anymore. I'm going to throw an example out there. So Yellow Pages. There was a day before the internet got here that the Yellow Pages was the hot place to be. Anybody who was anybody with a business was in the Yellow Pages. Now, we have since steered away from the Yellow Pages to a certain extent. We do a little bit with them, but by far not a lot, okay? So there's guys that have good luck with that and there's guys that don't, okay? I think a lot of it depends on, I think that the older generation of people still use the Yellow Book or Yellow Pages because they're not internet savvy. Okay, so if you're trying to get lawn care customers or landscape customers, if you have older people, they're still going to find you in the book. Okay, so it shouldn't be totally neglected. Now the prices, that being said, the prices have come down some on with the Yellow Pages, so you can get decent deals if you work them. Okay, so don't just take the first thing that they're throwing out there. You know, egg them on for more ads, more space, bigger ads, things of that nature. Okay. So, but advertising by far is one of the biggest mistakes that guys are making. If you still are putting all your apples into that basket of the Yellow Pages, then you're missing out on a huge opportunity if you're not on the internet. I've talked about this 100 million times until I'm blue in the face about how valuable the internet is for you. You need to be on that internet to get somewhere in this business. If not, you're missing out on a huge percentage of people that could be calling you for work. You really need to check into this more. We had to do it several years ago and it was the best thing we ever did. So there's multiple ways to advertise. We still do the door hangers, we do some street mailer stuff, we do the internet is just huge to us. We're starting to get into more of the social media stuff. Again, a little bit of Yellow Pages, but we do a lot of different things. So that's the first thing. Second thing, this is a saying that I heard years ago from a very successful entrepreneur person who had a very successful business, and he told me, he says, George, it takes money to make money. And I never understood really what it meant at the time. He tried to explain it to me, but I didn't grasp it until I actually went through this for a few years. You know, I've been doing this for, I think it's like 18 years now, and now I realize this. So I'm going to give you guys a great example of how it takes money to make money. So, some of you people that might have been around a long time ago remember the old commercial of Arnold's Rug. Arnold Rug. So they had an interview with the Yellow Pages, with Arnold's Rug, the guy from Arnold's Rug. So the Yellow Pages guy says, Arnold, why don't you advertise in the Yellow Pages? And Arnold responds and says, well, if I were to advertise in the Yellow Pages, someone would come along and they would buy my rug and then there would no longer be an Arnold's Rug. Okay? How stupid is that? Here's the thing. Here's the concept. It takes money to make money. You've got to take some money, invest it into advertising to get the phone to ring. Once the phone rings, money's coming in. Now you're going to do the work for them and money's coming in. You always need to set aside money in your business for advertising every year. That's an expense that you have to incur. If you plan on sitting out there and being a solo guy and doing word of mouth, that's fine and you're going to grow at a snail's pace. But if you want to grow your business and you want to grow it faster, you've got to get involved in things like the internet and some of the other things that I talked to you about. But it takes money to do that, okay? So keep that in mind. It takes money to make money. Very important lesson there. I knew of a guy down the line here a few years back, well, quite a few years ago now, but his wife didn't want to give him money to get into mass mailings at the time were a big thing. And I tried to talk to him and say, look, you need to do these mass mailings, or how are you going to get these farmers to call you up? And because he was after the farmers, and you know, for his service. And he's just like, well, we're relying on word of mouth. Well, he's no longer in business today. So his competition, massive, trucks on the road everywhere. So that's a good lesson there. Underpricing your work. Okay, underpricing your work is another big mistake that lawn care guys make, because they don't understand the market. They think that if they're going to come in there, let's say you're getting $25 a lawn, they think if they come in at $20 a lawn or at $15 a lawn or even $10 a lawn, they're going to steal all the competition. And don't get me wrong, they're going to get a lot of work from this. But at the end of the day, they'll have no money to show for it, because by the time they add up all their expenses and the labor that they had to pay to do all of that, and their fuel and insurances and licenses, they're not going to make any money at that, okay? You can't go in there and bid cheap and expect to be successful. You just can't do it. This is why guys drop off. This is why every time you go to a house and you hear the customer say, I don't know what happened to my lawn care guy, he just stopped coming. I can tell him why he stopped coming. Because the lawnmower broke down, and he didn't have any money in the bank to fix it, more than likely. So, and if it wasn't that, maybe it was drugs or something else, but who knows? But odds are, if you're making really good money at your business, decent money, you're going to keep coming back and showing up, because that's how you're making decent money. If you don't come back and show up again, it's because you weren't making any money to begin with, and you threw your hands in the air and said, oh, screw it. Okay, that being said, one of the biggest pet peeves that I have is people not answering their phone. So you go through all this money that you save for advertising, you put it in there, and you did your internet work and everything else you got into, and now it's time to reap the rewards, and you don't answer your phone. Here's how customers view that. Let's say you're a customer, I'm a customer. If I call, I want to get it done now. This is the day and age of getting it done now. If I have an issue in my house where I need my furnace worked on or air conditioning, I've just now allotted myself 5 minutes to find somebody to get into my house. So I'm going to call, and the first guy I call, everything worked. His advertising struck my eye, got my attention. I believed in his message. I called him up. The guy doesn't answer his phone. You know what I'm going to do? I'm calling the next guy right beneath him that strikes my eye. Okay? And if he doesn't answer his phone, I'll go to the third guy, and I'll get him. I'm going to get one of them to answer the phone. And the guy that answers the phone and says, yeah, I'm going to be out there in 20 minutes, that's the guy I'm going to be going with. Okay? So keep that in mind. Answer your phone. You spent all that money, you're foolish not to. You're just foolish not to do it. And I don't want this whole phone screening crap that everybody does. To hell with that. I've tried to call guys back, and they're screening their calls. It's ridiculous, especially during season. Answer every call. Yeah, everybody gets sick and tired of the sales calls, but you answer that phone, because you just don't know who it is. Okay. Get to the customer fast. This is the fourth thing, or the fifth thing I want to tell you, is to get to them fast, because if they happen to get a hold of one or two guys, if you're the first guy there and you sell them really good on your work, chances are they're going to go with you. If they like you, you give them everything they need, you answer all their questions, and you're prompt, you get out there fast, lock them up before anybody else gets there. That is your goal. Your goal when you get to that house is to not even leave that house without having them sign on the line, without having them agree to be with you. Okay? And if there's a reason that they won't agree with you, bring it up. Ask them. Just say, well, Mrs. Jones, is there a reason why you don't want to go with us today? You know, because I thought I was very prompt. You know, we answered our phone. I came right out. I answered your questions. What have I done wrong? She may just tell you, well, I'm just waiting for another bid. And if that's what it is, there's really nothing you can do about that, because more than likely you got a cheapskate here that she wants to compare bids, and she may very well take the lowest bid. But on the other hand, she may not. She may really like you, and when that other dipstick shows up or doesn't show up, you're going to get the call and get the work. Or if he shows up late, you're going to get the call and get the work. Or he might show up and look like a slob, and you're going to get the work. Or again, maybe he just shows up and his personality sucks and he can't sell for shit, and you still get the work. So biggest thing is get out there, do a good job, answer their questions, and you'll get the work. Now the last thing I want to tell you guys is to do an excellent job when you're on these properties. I have learned over time, and I've made so many mistakes that I've gone in and I've whipped through jobs because I was so far behind, and you know, there's rain coming, and there's this and there's that, there's always something. So you're trying to whip through these jobs and get them done, and you'll cut corners, and it's cost me customers, it's word of mouth is bad, you know, it travels 10 times faster if you do a bad job for somebody, probably 100 times faster, because it seems like you do a great job, yeah, people will talk, but nowhere near as fast if you do a lousy job. They're going to tell everybody they know about you. So hopefully I shed some light on this for you guys. Those are 6 of the major things that you can fix in your business right now, and you should be doing those things and get yourself, your mindset all set up for this stuff right now, especially the internet. Get going on that stuff immediately, because it takes months to get to first page of Google. So this has been George Packard. If you want to see any of our other videos, we have them all archived on our website, and the links are below. Thanks for watching.